Our oceans sustain life. An abundant ocean can feed 1 billion people a healthy meal every day forever. But now they are being killed by throwaway plastics. The equivalent of one garbage truck of plastic is dumped in the sea every minute. 17.6 billion pounds every year. Plastic is everywhere in our ocean, floating on the surface, mixing in the salt water, and sitting on the ocean bottom, miles and miles deep. And once in the ocean, it never goes away. Over hundreds of years, it breaks down into small pieces. But those pieces, even the tiny ones called microplastics, are still plastic. Sea turtles are choking on it. Scientists say that over 60% of whale and dolphin species are affected by it. Zooplankton, the base of the ocean food chain, eat it. And so do we. It's in the water we drink. It's in our food. Microplastics have been found in our salt, our honey, and our beer. And sometimes even in the air we breathe. Companies are choosing to make something that will be used just once, from a material that lasts forever. If you don't like what throwaway plastics are already doing to our world, brace yourself. We face a tsunami of throwaway plastic in our and the ocean's future. 4 times more plastic will be produced between now and the middle of the century than has been produced in all of history. 4 times more. What can we do? Recycling? Of all the plastic ever generated as of 2015, only 9% was recycled. Even when it is recycled, plastic degrades. Your plastic soda bottle maybe becomes a shampoo bottle, then a floor mat. Even in the best case, it doesn't recycle, it downcycles. And then it becomes pollution that ruins our beaches and chokes sea animals forever. We should not be forced to pollute the ocean every time we eat, drink, or go shopping. We need to be given a choice. A plastic-free choice. This is not hard to imagine. Indeed, some responsible companies are already leading the way. There are throwaway plastic-free aisles in supermarkets. Beverage companies already offer plastic-free soda and salsa water. Restaurants offer plastic-free service. There are plastic-free rooms in hotels. An airline is now offering a plastic-free flight. And Oceania and our allies are winning plastic-free victories. Following campaign by Oceania, Peru passed a law that keeps plastic out of national parks and beaches. Belize is getting rid of styrofoam. And the European Union has mandated reductions for throwaway plastic throughout its 28 member countries. But with your help, we can do more. Together, we can create a movement to reduce throwaway plastic. We can make sure we're all given real plastic-free choices. We can help our cities, towns, schools, and workplaces establish zones that are free of throwaway plastic. Let's stop plastic pollution from wrecking our beaches and our oceans, and have healthy oceans that delight and sustain us for generations to come. Please join our campaign. Go to oceania.org/plastics today.
Welcome to Ocean Week 2021, presented by Behind This Together Global Educators E-Conference. So, my name is Manjula Gayan from Sri Lanka and co-founder of Behind This Together Global Educators E-Conference. In this year, we have organized a series of Ocean Day presentation for educators and students around the world. So, Lauren Leo from Boston co-founder of We Are in This Together Global Educators e-conference. She's going to explain the presentation that we have done in last year and the presentation that we are going to do in this year. Lauren, over to you.
I'm logging in from Boston. This is the second year that we've had an Ocean Day program. Some of you may recall that last year we had Peter Kelleher from NOAA speak about the right whale, Dr. Jeff Dusick, who spoke about robotics and ocean engineering from Olin College of Engineering, and Brad Nahill from SeaTurtles.org spoke about conservation efforts of the Sea Turtle Organization. In addition, science educator Jean Pennycook from the National Science Foundation spoke about the effect of climate change on Adelie penguins. In Dr. Caroline Coach from World Wildlife Fund, a polar scientist, presented an expedition to the Arctic. This year, we are excited to have author Natalie Newman read the book that she and her son co-authored entitled Lark The Shark. We will have Chelsea Prindle, manager of Monterey Sea Exploration Center, talk about the Monterey National Marine Sanctuary, and finally scientist Dr. David Guggenheim, president of the Ocean Doctor, a nonprofit organization dedicated to advancing the conservation of the world's oceans, where he will talk about the progress of his scientific research, education, and community development. And I'd like to welcome all of you here. And I'm going to now take a minute and give you some background on Natalie Newman. Natalie is a mother of 2 boys who has been interested in literacy for many, many years. Reading books to her boys is a big and important part of her life. Lark the Shark was written by Natalie and her son, who also shares his love of literacy. And I'd like to welcome Natalie.
Hello.
Go ahead, you're on.
Hi.
Natalie, you're on
I'm
now,
Natalie
yeah.
Newman.
Hi.
Hi, lovely to meet you all on an early version of World Ocean Week. And this is my book, Lark the Shark. I wrote this with my 8-year-old son after having a discussion about pollution in the environment and outside on the street. And I was shocked to know that he didn't actually know anything to do with pollution in the ocean. So we Googled it, we went on YouTube, we had a look, and he was so shocked about all the rubbish that was in the ocean that he said, "Mummy, what can we do to help?" And I said, "Well, what could we do?" And we decided to have a friendly shark that would come and clean it up. So we wrote our book, we wrote our story, and then we Googled publishers, and I found one that I liked, and I sent it in. We went on holiday, and I was lucky enough to come back, and we had a contract waiting on the porch for us, which was great. And the whole process took about 9 months. I went through the story, so what text that I wanted on one side, and then the illustrations that I wanted on the other side. And that took about 9 months for everything to come together. And then they sent us our first edition, and we were very happy. And since then, it's been a bit of a whirlwind. It's gone global. And I'm doing a lot of book readings to schools and nurseries. And this has also been featured now in the Marine Conservation Society Education Hub, which supports schools in learning about stuff about the ocean. So it's really important that little children are learning about what's going on. So we're really happy about that. So I hope you all enjoy reading our book. So here we go. Down at the beach, there was a man who would teach. He would teach about a great, big, scary-looking shark who swam deep in the ocean, especially in the dark. People would say he had teeth as sharp as needles. and a funny-looking tail that stood out of the water and was as big as a sail. But the shark, whose name was Lark, heard the man's tales. He felt sad and thought to himself, I'm really not that bad. Lark had a good idea. He waited for all the people to finish their lesson. He then jumped out of the sea and looped the loop. He even did a somersault. The people were shocked. This was not the creature they had feared, as they all clapped their hands and cheered. He was a friendly shark. A shark that liked to be happy and helpful, be funny and sweet, and even quite neat. And he's got his nice shells in a nice neat pile. He would now bring all the rubbish left in the sea to the people on the shore. And the man who once taught about a scary shark now teaches people about the dangers of litter. So the sea can once again glitter, all nice and clean. So there we go, all nice and clean. So that's our book. It's available on Amazon, worldwide, globally, and I'm sure that if you Google Lark the Shark, you'll be able to see there are independent bookshops online that are selling it too. So if anyone has got any lovely questions or anything they want to ask me about the book, you're more than welcome to type it in and then I can answer it for you. So I look forward to any questions that you'd like to ask. Thank you for everyone that says they love the book. And thank you, the illustrations. Yeah, we wanted the illustrations to be bright, and so it appeals to children, even though the book focuses on children that's from 2 to 8 years old. We wanted it to be bright, so children even younger and siblings could enjoy the book as well. And so what else we've got? Oh, thank you. Thank you. The book, beautiful book, beautiful illustrations. Oh, thank you so much. Really means a lot. And I'm really so happy that all the children in schools really get the book. It's not just for the pictures and everything else's sake. This is like the world we live in, and we have to look after it, because if we don't start teaching children when they're young, then this could affect generations and generations and generations to go on if we don't start looking after our planet. So it's really good for the children to understand about water pollution, and any pollution really, but especially water pollution, because it is unfortunately a big problem at the moment. And it would be nice if we did have in real life a shark that tidied it up. It would be amazing. So who knows, there could be one. How long did it take to write the book? So the book took us about 20 minutes to write. On one side of paper, we put all our ideas that we wanted to see on the book, and the other side, we had all our rhyming words. So if you notice, our book rhymes, and it's to make children be able to remember the words, so that when we started to write a sentence, we knew what we wanted to follow on by the word that rhymed. So it was important that we actually had all the rhyming words on one side, so we knew what was going to follow on from the story. How did you get these ideas? So the idea was, because my son had pollution homework, that he had to write a small paragraph about the pollution outside and the rubbish that he sees on the street. So he had to visually go outside and have a look at what was going on in the street. And because we had a look at what was going on in the street, I said to him, well, have you ever seen anything in the ocean? Have you ever seen any pollution or rubbish in the ocean? And because he didn't know about it, and we YouTubed it, and he saw a video, he was so shocked about everything that was out there that he said, what can we do to help? And that's where we got the idea of a friendly shark who would tidy it up. And that's another important message that we've got in our book, that not to judge a book by its cover. The teacher was telling all the students, when he first was in the first bit of the book, he's telling the students how bad the shark is, and you know how we should be scared of it. Beware, you know, he has sharp teeth, and he has a tail as big as a sail. So it's all these, unfortunately, negative things that he was being taught about a shark. And that's why when he actually heard what was going on, Lark, that he wanted to change people's opinion of him. And I think that's another really big, important message that's in our book. Don't judge a book by its cover. And also about not necessarily being scared of sharks. There's a lot of sharks at the moment that are endangered, and a lot of species that are actually in the dangerous part of being extinct. And that is because of finning and also because of fishing. And these are things that, you know, we want to hopefully through our book make children aware that sharks aren't scary, and you shouldn't really necessarily go on the opinion, you know, on your first instinct of what you know about something, because it can always change. So we need to save the ocean. Yes, I agree. We do need to save the ocean. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and it's, you know, and it's really inspiring, really, for a lot of schools when they know that a 7-year-old boy and his mum wrote it, because it gives a lot of hope for children, because a lot of children want to write a story. So nothing stops any children from doing this and from sending it in. And, you know, you could be lucky like us and send it in and get a contract, which is great, you know. Can we see your son? Oh, unfortunately, my son is at school. So, and because he's had so much time, because in the UK where we are now, he had 3 months off school at the beginning of the year. So unfortunately, he couldn't take any time off. I wasn't allowed to take him out of school. But I think if you look on the brochure that is on the actual page that you're on now, I think you'll be able to see me and Henry with the book, so you'll be able to see him. Amazing, that will help everyone see the problem. Yes, exactly. I hope, thank you so much for your comments. I hope this will highlight the problem of pollution, and also for children to understand it, because sometimes you can take a textbook out and show children what's going on, but it doesn't necessarily go in. I've got 2 boys, and unless it's fun and fun learning, they don't really get the value of what you're trying to teach them. So with our book, we wanted to really highlight the fact that these things are happening, but through a fun and educational way, so they don't actually realise that they're learning about a really important and massive topic, because it's all through fun and through play, and that's through our book. Ocean. So we got the idea from the story through pollution. I think I've covered that one, but I said so basically about my son. He had homework and he wanted to see what he could do to help water pollution, and that's why we came up with a friendly shark to help clear the ocean. So not only was it that, it was also about helping make people aware that sharks aren't necessarily as bad as, you know, they're portrayed in movies, in, you know, in programs, you know, that they aren't all bad. And remember that they are actually in their own home, which is the ocean, so we are entering their domain. So I think that's a really important thing to say as well to children, that when you go in the sea, you will see these things, and that's where they live, you know, and that's where they should live. Please tell Henry you love the book he wrote with you. Oh, thank you. I will show Henry all of these lovely messages. Yeah, I agree. The next generation should now know the importance of saving the ocean. I agree, because, you know, unfortunately, if without people being exposed to our book and stuff that's on the TV, you know, they don't really know, because I live in the UK, you know, I don't necessarily see these things on my doorstep. So you don't know what's going on. So by having a book and by, you know, letting children read and enjoy it, they actually are learning through something that's really important. One of my students to share. Oh, that's great. I'm really happy that one of the students wants to share and she's inspired to write her book, because that's what it's about. It's about children being confident enough to write a story and feel happy to share it. Oh, thank you. I'll tell Henry that you all love the book. That's really lovely. Thank you. So happy that one of your students inspired to make a book. That's great. Is there any other questions? I really love your story. I love small stories. Yes, so we wrote, and we have wrote 5 more books that will continue with Lark. So it will be all Lark's adventures that he is going to share. So this is the opening book. This is so everyone knows about our main character, Lark, who cleans the ocean. So our next book we've actually just submitted, so it should be hopefully out next year, because it does take around 8 to 9 months. I mean, we were in lockdown when we were going back and forth and finalising all the illustrations and everything. So I know that when you can have face-to-face meetings, which hopefully now with vaccinations won't be too far away, that it might be done quicker. But if not, you know, we can wait 8 to 9 months for the next one to come out. So all children now know what's happening. They don't do anything to save the ocean. Yes, so many. I've had so many children and teachers send me wonderful illustrations, and they've also sent me really beautiful writing. I mean, we're talking about reception children, which are 5 to 6, on what they would do to save the planet and how they can do it and what they expect for everyone to really do to save it. And the teachers have been excellent and really supportive in showing activities based around litter. So there's been one teacher that had a pool. It was like a water bowl, and put loads of rubbish in, and they had a fish that came and tidied it up, which was Lark. You know, and then they had another activity where there was a piece of paper, and there was Lark here, and all the rubbish, and what you would expect to see in a clean ocean and what wasn't in a clean ocean. So the children had to take things out, and then that's how they learn as well, through play, you know, to make it fun for them. And that's what we hope through our book, to make it fun so children would love it. I really love your stories. Oh, thank you. Keep showing us what. Oh, it's really lovely. Thank you for all your lovely messages. Yes, so hopefully a series. We have to go one by one, but yeah, I'm hoping to release a great big series about Lark, and also about other animals that are in the sea and what he can help with. And that will also continue with education, because it will be about other animals and their characteristics and what they need help with. So that's really lovely that someone's picked up on that. Thank you. Can you show? Oh, they're really lovely comments. I'm so happy that everyone has warmed to the book, because it is a really lovely story. And I'm not just saying that because I wrote it, but I have such lovely feedback from everyone that reads it. Oh, great. Yeah,
I'm
we
just
love sharks too.
I'm curious, Natalie, where all of the audience is from. Can the audience type in what country you're from, and so that we know where you're all coming from? So many places. I know that it's fascinating to see. I know some of you are from Egypt, some are from India. If you typed in where you're from, you could learn a little bit about where you're coming from. Sure,
So there are rope on regulation, exciting messages from YouTube. So I'm inviting everyone to go there and watch the recorded video. So yeah, Lorraine.
Well, that's great. Great. So Canada and Ottawa, Canada.
Wow.
Oh, that's really great. And just to let anyone know that their children can go in, speak to their teacher.
I think I can pop comments here. I can bring comment into the screen. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, and I just wanted to say, if anyone wanted to follow us, we are Lark the Shark on Facebook, and we are Lark the Shark 2020 on Instagram. And if you wanted to speak to your children's teachers, I'm doing book readings globally. I done one yesterday for Singapore. I do to China. Globally, I've been doing them to, you know, get our message across about water pollution, and also about preserving our sharks and, you know, really helping our marine life. So if anyone would like to tell their teachers, they can contact me via my socials, and I'd love to read our story to their schools. So it's not just in the UK that I'm doing this, it's actually globally. So I'd really love to get into any schools, or yeah, Egypt, anywhere. I'd absolutely love to. In Canada. Wow. And thank you very much for the platform for me to share this as well. I'm really thankful and appreciate it on such a great great topic and a great group, which you know shares so much information that's important. So thank you very much for letting me share it.
Thank you very much for presenting. You did a beautiful job of reading the story, and in this audience, I have to compliment or just having the nicest, supportive compliments. It's very, very nice to see that from across the world. So I really appreciate that. And yes, Julie, the Lark the Shark has many new fans for sure. So that's wonderful.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
sure that that's going to be the highlight of their day. So that's really exciting.
That's really lovely. Thank you.
I'll tell Henry. Go ahead.
So her new book is a great inspiration for everyone. Henry is so super duper proud, you know, and he is so happy as well that this is being shared with other children, because that's what he said, Mummy, anyone can do it. And it's so true. Anyone can write a book and send it in. You know, I'm actually a self-employed hairdresser by trade that was trained by Vidal Sassoon in London. And this was something I've always loved, literature. So it was something that literally we wrote. And I thought, let's send it in, who knows? And that's why we were so lucky enough to get a contract, because it was just fate, really, that we were accepted. And, you know, the book has now been put out there. And, you know, without us even trying, we wouldn't be in the position we're in now. So anything is possible. I just wanted to let everyone know. I have a lot of teachers here in Canada who'll be contacting you. Oh, great. I would love that. I honestly would. And don't worry about the time zone. I've been getting up at the crack of dawn to read our book. So you don't have to worry about having it on UK time.
That's great.
Okay.
Oh, Lark the Shark's children's idol.
I know so many questions here. Yeah, when you go to YouTube, it says, thank you so much for sharing your book. Yes, we need to appreciate you taking your time and sharing with our community and all the students and the educators around the globe. And Lauren, so I need to give you a little reminder. So we will go live again tomorrow at 12 p.m. PST. So we are going to talk about the title is Dive into Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. So presented by Chelsea Prindle, manager of the center. So it's going to be a beautiful presentation about World Ocean Week. So she will discuss about the life underwater and how to protect them and how valuable these things are. And everything. Lorraine, over to you.
I want to thank everyone, thank the audience, thank you, Natalie Newman, for sharing your story. And,
my pleasure.
Spearing off the Ocean Week for us across the world. So it's really been a pleasure meeting you and talking with you and reading your story. And now you have a fan club across the world from this this webinar. So that's been great. So thank you again.
Okay, so we have so many questions and so many comments from YouTube. So I'm asking you to share the link with for the tomorrow's session as well. So I'm going to end this session. So I'm going to end this live streaming now. So see you tomorrow again. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye from Boston.
Thank you. Bye bye. And bye from Lark.
Bye bye.